We live in a time where it is so easy to get lost in the day-to-day grind of modern life. We wake up, we work, we scroll down some social media feed, eat dinner, watch TV, go to sleep, and then we repeat this process until one day we are lying on our deathbeds looking back over our lives and thinking, what was it all for? It's true what they say that life goes by so fast, and if you blink, you will miss it. In an attempt to combat this feeling of living on a never-ending hamster wheel, in today's video, we will be taking a look at 4 world history events that we should never forget. Let's start. No. 4. The Lisbon earthquake. On November 1, 1755, at 9:40 a.m., the Portuguese city of Lisbon was struck by a massive earthquake which lasted for around 10 minutes. This would not have been too bad had it not been followed by a tsunami and then a fire which destroyed much of the city. Historians estimate that around 100,000 people were killed with many more seriously injured. This disaster was so big that it even affected other countries across Europe, Africa and the Americas. It completely caught people off guard since earthquakes weren't really spoken about or understood back then. And to make matters worse, the main aftershock occurred during All Saints' Day celebrations when the population was gathered together in the main plazas. To make matters even worse, the disaster struck at the height of the golden age of Lisbon, when Portugal was one of the richest countries in the world, thanks to its vast overseas empire. If you would like to learn more about this event, then make sure to check out our full video on the Lisbon earthquake. No. 3. The Black Death. From 1346 to 1353, the Black Death ravaged through Asia and Europe, killing tens of millions of people in the process. This pandemic was caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis and is considered to be one of the most devastating natural selection processes in human history. It is believed that the disease arrived in Europe via trading ships from Asia where it killed many rats. The rats then spread the bacteria throughout the cities of Europe, infecting humans and causing widespread panic and chaos. Some believe that the high population density in the medieval cities made them the perfect breeding ground for such a disease. Others argue that the poor diet and lack of basic medical knowledge at the time also played a major role in the severity of the plague. Whatever the cause, it is estimated that the Black Death wiped out half of Europe's total population. As you can imagine, this led to all sorts of unrest and upheaval, including peasants revolting against their feudal lords and questioning why they should live a life of servitude when so many nobles had just died. For more information on the Black Death, check out our dedicated video. No. 2. The First World War. From 1914 to 1918, Europe was engulfed in conflict when the First World War broke out. This war started as a result of growing nationalism and militarism in Europe, as well as the formation of various alliances between different countries. When Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria was assassinated by a Serbian nationalist, Austria declared war on Serbia and began mobilizing its troops. This caused a diplomatic crisis in Europe, with each country having to choose a side. Germany supported Austria unconditionally, while France, Russia and Britain eventually joined the fight alongside Serbia. Over the next 4 years, millions of men from around the world were mobilized and sent into the deadliest conflict the world had ever seen. Entire generations of men were wiped out in the war, and new technologies such as poison gas, tanks and airplanes were used to deadly effect. By the end of the war, over 16 million people had lost their lives and entire economies had been destroyed. The war also led to the collapse of several empires, including the Austro-Hungarian, Ottoman, Russian, and German empires. It left lasting impacts on the global balance of power and led to the rise of new ideologies such as communism and fascism. You can learn more about this conflict by checking out our World War I playlist. Number 1. The Holocaust. During the Second World War, a horrific event took place that has become known as the Holocaust. This was the systematic, state-sponsored persecution and murder of 6 million Jewish people by the Nazi regime and its collaborators. The persecution began in Germany in 1933, when Adolf Hitler and his Nazi party came to power. They used propaganda, intimidation, and violence to isolate Jews from German society and accuse them of being responsible for the country's economic problems. This culminated in the Nuremberg Laws of 1935, which stripped Jews of their citizenship and banned them from marrying or having sexual relations with non-Jews. In 1938, Kristallnacht, also known as the Night of Broken Glass, took place when Nazi paramilitaries attacked Jewish businesses, homes and synagogues across Germany and Austria. On September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland, marking the beginning of the war. and 2 days later, Britain and France declared war on Germany. With the outbreak of war, the Nazi regime intensified its persecution of Jews across German-occupied Europe. Jews were forced to wear the Star of David and were banned from public transportation, certain professions, and even from owning pets. They were also subjected to mass arrests and deportations to ghettos and concentration camps. The horrors of the Holocaust were finally brought to an end when the Allied forces liberated the concentration camps in 1945. After the war, the world was left to come to terms with the atrocities that had been committed during the Holocaust. Millions of people had been murdered in a systematic and organized way simply for being Jewish. The survivors of the Holocaust were left traumatized and struggling to rebuild their lives. The world had witnessed the depths of human cruelty and the importance of standing up against hatred and intolerance. What do you think? Are there any other world history events that we should never forget? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out our other content. Thanks for watching.